Hello everybody, welcome back to the table. Today we are taking a look at a knife from Shieldon Knives. And now before I say anything else, I will say that this knife was sent to me direct from Shieldon Knives. They contacted me through my channel, and I get the impression that they really want to get their name out there as a contender in the knife market. And being a small channel myself, I am happy to share knives that people are willing to spend the time and money to send in, because at some point this video may help someone out there with a purchasing decision. I do need to mention, however, that even though they sent me these knives free of charge, no one is reviewing the content of this video before it was uploaded. So, when I spoke with the representative from Shieldon, he probably showed me 8 or 9 different knife designs they were working on, some being more interesting to me than others. But when he offered to send some in to me, I asked that he be the one to decide which knives to send over. I wanted it to be something of a blind sample being sent my way so that my impression of the knives would not be biased from the start. And therefore, the first of these knives we are talking about today is called the Bulbasaur. So very interesting name, of course. As you may be aware, Bulbasaur is a Pokemon, and I assume the name is owned by Nintendo. So kind of a bold move by Shieldon for sure. The design of the knife, though, really does kind of fit the name, because looking at the overall shape of the knife, everything is nicely rounded when the knife is closed, and the green color, of course, matches the knife's namesake. Check out this blade, though. We get a nice big leaf-shaped blade, about 3.6 inches long, and it is made of Sandvik 14C28N. And so 14C28N is a really great mid-range EDC steel. And I'm glad we are getting some Sandvik here, as I kind of feel like we are in a world of knives and we are drowning in designs made in D2. Taking a look at the blade and its markings, on the show side here we have the Shieldon logo, and the blade steel is marked as well. When we take a look at the reverse side, we do have the model name, the Bulbasaur, as well as the name of the knife designer, who goes by Django. At this point, it looks like most, if not all, of the Shieldon knives are designs by Django. And lastly, we do have the model number written on the blade as well. The action of the knife is as good as I expected it would be. The blade flips nicely and the detent is well adjusted, so the knife is not really too difficult to actuate. The action does run on ceramic bearings, and the liner lock's lockup is nice and early, and the centering on this knife is pretty much spot on as well. Let's also take a look at the pocket clip. It is a simple, thin profile design, and it has a fair bit of flex to it. The clip, as you may have noticed, is single position only, so it will be tip up, right hand side carry here. And since the clip is relatively low tension, these smooth G10 handles make it really easy to get in and out of pocket. And taking a look at the handle of the blade, we have a smooth green and black G10. So the pivot here, it uses a T8 Torx bit, and surrounding the pivot there is a green colored ring on both sides of the knife, and when you look closely at it, it looks as if it's an iridescent anodized color, and so it really does add a nice little bit of flair to the handles overall. Now, I just love little attentions to detail, and so the liners on this knife are steel, but if we look inside the handles really closely, we can see that Shieldon milled out holes into the liners to help with weight reduction. So for a knife with an overall length of a little over 8.5 inches, we are coming in at about 4.4 ounces in weight. Now, I think it's also worth mentioning here, on a slight tangent, that the knife does come with a really nice belt pouch. So this nylon pouch has a Velcro opening and a belt loop on the back with a snap, which conveniently makes this pouch fit very nicely on gear with Molly Webby. I mean, I have Leatherman sheaths that are not Molly compatible yet, so this is actually going to be replacing one of those for me on one of my bags. So I would much rather see knives like this come with usable sheaths, like this one here, as opposed to what's kind of now standard are the standard zippered pouches that we see all the time. You know, because at least this is usable for practical carry of the knife or for other tools you may own, and you can store it in the pouch as well. And the zipper cases just aren't quite as useful. They're really only for storage. I think that the most compelling part of the Bulbasaur, though, is going to be the blade. So this big leaf shape is pretty unique. You know, Spyderco is really the only other company that uses these broad leaf-shaped blades like this. But one of the first thoughts I had when I saw this knife was a similarity to the shape of a Spanish slip joint knife I own. So take a look right here. This is the Itor Caster. And as you can see, the blade shape is definitely inspired by this, traditional old world design. Now, what would be a first impressions video without some good comparisons? So let's make a few comparisons between the Shieldon Bulbasaur here and some other knives on the table. First off, we're going to take a look at the Kershaw Blur. So let's put these knives side by side, pivot to pivot, and you can get a good idea of the size of the Bulbasaur. Up next is going to be this Spyderco Endura. So this one is kind of similar in size to the Bulbasaur, kind of reminiscent for me, especially in terms of overall length. So let's check these ones out side by side as well. And I think I'd also like to compare the Bulbasaur here to the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. So let's put these ones side by side and give you an idea of the overall length of the Bulbasaur. So, at least as of recording this video, I don't quite see the Bulbasaur available for sale yet at any knife dealers. It should come in around the $70 price point. I know places like White Mountain Knives carry the brand, but not many of the big distributors yet. So in my conversations with Mr. Stephen Liu from Shieldon Knives, he implied that it was pretty difficult for a smaller up-and-coming company to break into the online stores like Blade HQ and so on. And so on a somewhat unrelated note to that, it was curious when I was talking to him, he also was saying that a lot of the brains behind Shieldon are actually former employees of Kaiser Knives. And so this company definitely does have some experience in the knife and cutlery industry, and they are definitely looking to expand into that. So here at the end, I am curious, what do you guys all think of the Bulbasaur? I know there is a lot of competition between these mid-range Chinese brands today. It's pretty cutthroat, but I do think that if they can come up with great designs, they're going to have a good chance to really compete and make their mark. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day.